US missile defense could be getting outgunned, as China tests a new so-called killer system. Xi Jinping seems to be taking advantage of what many call a depleted US arsenal. China has now test-fired its lightweight HQ-16F surface-to-air missile, a system clearly aimed straight at Taiwan. Analysts are asking whether the HQ-16F is simply Beijing's answer to US Patriot systems, or whether China's growing stockpile is starting to look superior in range. China's HQ-16F now stands in direct comparison to American Patriots, raising the hard question of who would actually win the missile duel if a Taiwan war were ever to erupt. Amid rising tensions in the Taiwan Strait, China has equipped frontline troops facing the island with a new surface-to-air missile, tightening its air defense umbrella along the coast. The missile is believed to be the HQ-16F, a modern variant with capabilities that Chinese media say are comparable in many respects to US Patriot air defense systems. These developments were highlighted by regional press on June 6, citing Chinese state media coverage of new tests and deployments. On June 5, Chinese broadcaster CCTV aired footage of the PLA 73rd Group Army carrying out operations and a live-fire assessment of the new missile in realistic training conditions. The unit reportedly traveled thousands of kilometers from its base in Fujian, opposite Taiwan, to the Gobi Desert to receive the system and complete intensive training. During the exercise, the missile was launched from a road mobile launcher and successfully intercepted an incoming target drone roughly 50 kilometers away. Observers noted that the missile features a sleek aerodynamic design without mid-body wings, relying instead on 4 tail fins for flight control and maneuverability. This design is said to make the missile lighter and reduce drag, improving fuel efficiency and helping to extend its effective engagement range. While the CCTV report did not explicitly name the weapon, close-up video of the launcher showed a nameplate reading HQ-16F, strongly hinting at its identity. The system's external appearance also closely matches that of the HQ-16FE, the latest export-oriented version, suggesting a shared design lineage with upgraded domestic electronics. The HQ-16F HQ-16FE is a medium-range surface-to-air missile designed to defend key areas and mobile formations from enemy aircraft and missiles. It exists in both land-based and ship-launched variants, giving China flexible air defense coverage on land and at sea. The missile is launched from vertical cells and is compatible with modern vertical launch systems, allowing 360-degree engagement. Export information suggests a maximum range of around 160 kilometers against conventional combat aircraft, far beyond the original HQ-16. Guidance combines inertial navigation with radar homing in the terminal phase, helping the missile stay locked on fast-moving targets. The latest variants reportedly use AESA-based fire control radars, offering better tracking precision and resilience against jamming. Engineers have focused on stronger anti-jamming performance compared to earlier HQ-16 versions, making it harder to blind or spoof. The Patriot PAC-3 is fielded as a road mobile battery, bundling radar, launchers, and command and control vehicles into a single integrated system. It is designed to provide theater-level air and missile defense, protecting cities, bases, and key infrastructure from aerial threats. PAC-3 can engage tactical ballistic missiles, cruise missiles, and advanced aircraft, focusing heavily on missile defense missions. Its effective intercept ranges are generally in the tens of kilometers, optimized for high-speed inbound threats rather than very long-range air policing. The system is optimized to hit high-speed, high-altitude targets in the final stages of their trajectory, especially ballistic warheads. Patriot interceptors use active radar homing with precision tracking, allowing them to steer directly into incoming targets. The PAC-3 variant relies on hit-to-kill technology, destroying targets through direct body-to-body impact instead of a large explosive warhead. China's latest HQ-16F test came just as Taiwan has been boosting its own missile arsenal, underscoring an accelerating arms race across the strait. Taiwan plans to expand its anti-ship missile arsenal to more than 1,800 weapons by early 2029, according to reports, dramatically increasing its ability to threaten Chinese naval forces near the island. This buildup is intended to strengthen deterrence against a potential Chinese blockade, with Taipei seeking to raise the costs and risks for any attempt to cut off the island's sea lanes. Taiwan is shifting toward an asymmetric warfare strategy designed to offset the People's Liberation Army's advantages in ships, aircraft, and overall firepower. The strategy reportedly centers on large numbers of relatively cheap but lethal missiles and drones, which can be dispersed, hidden, and used to strike high-value targets at sea. Taiwan's armed forces want to ensure they can survive an initial Chinese missile and air onslaught, rather than being crippled in the opening hours of a conflict. Military planners therefore focus on retaining enough strike capability after any opening barrage to continue hitting Chinese ships, landing forces, and logistics hubs. Taiwan's parliament has also approved an extra $25 billion for purchasing munitions from the United States, underscoring how central US-made weapons are to its defense plans. Additional long-range precision missiles are now in development or being procured, aimed at striking Chinese vessels in the Taiwan Strait and forces massing at coastal embarkation points. These new systems are intended to hit Chinese ships in the strait itself or target troops and equipment concentrated at ports and staging areas along China's coast before they can sail. The core of Taiwan's anti-ship arsenal will consist of US-made Harpoon missiles and domestically produced Sung Fong series missiles, which together provide layered maritime strike options. Defense experts say this combined missile force could turn parts of the Taiwan Strait into a deadly kill zone, making any large-scale amphibious assault extremely costly for Beijing. Notably, Taiwan is closely studying how Ukraine and Iran have used drones and missiles in recent conflicts, looking for tactics and technologies that could be adapted to its own defense. The US may need years to rebuild some of the advanced weapon stockpiles consumed during the Iran war. A new analysis warns that this depletion could undermine US readiness for any future conflict with China. Precision-guided munitions and air defense interceptors were used at a pace that outstripped replacement rates. That has raised fresh doubts about whether the US can sustain major wars across multiple theaters at once. A prolonged replenishment timeline could weaken American deterrence in the Indo-Pacific. The Iran war also exposed concerns that the US defense industrial base cannot keep up with the demands of modern conflict. Analysts have long warned that any war over Taiwan would require very large volumes of advanced weaponry. Critics argue the costly Iran war failed to produce a decisive outcome while also draining US firepower. The resulting strain on stockpiles may now leave Washington facing greater risks in a future Asia-Pacific crisis. US defense contractors may need at least 3 years to rebuild key weapon stockpiles after the Iran war. A new CSIS analysis warned that depleted inventories could leave the United States more vulnerable. Tomahawk missiles, Patriot interceptors, and THAAD interceptors were identified as 3 of the key systems under strain. The think tank said the main challenge is not funding, but the time required to expand production. That means the window of vulnerability could last for several years until stockpiles are restored. China has notably set a goal of being able to take Taiwan by force, if necessary, by 2027. CSIS said it could take until late 2030 to fully rebuild Tomahawk inventories to their pre-war level. Fewer than 200 Tomahawks are currently produced each year, though Raytheon is aiming to raise capacity above 1,000. The report also said it could take until the end of 2029 to replace as many as 290 THAAD interceptors. Replenishing more than 1,000 Patriot interceptors is expected to be completed around mid-2029. Despite the shortages, the Pentagon has insisted it still has enough in its arsenal to carry out the president's orders.